Now, there's a rumor a couple of days ago that one deal that Trump and Xi will sign in Beijing is Xi Jinping will commit $1 trillion investment into America, primarily factories that manufacture EV cars. This is a huge deal, okay? And Laura Ingraham, who works at Fox News, she thinks it's a bad thing. She thinks that this is about China coming in and trying to buy out the United States. As I'll show you later, this is retarded. Okay, I think this deal will happen, but this is a deal that shows that China is ultimately dependent on America as opposed to China wants to take over America. Okay? All right, so how can we understand the Trump visit? Well, again, in this class, what I want to show you is that historical analogies is a really powerful way to understand the present. So the Trump visit today is analogous to Nixon's visit in 1972. Okay? So you don't know this, but before 1972, America was hostile towards China, primarily because of Taiwan, where during the Chinese Civil War, the Americans were very supportive of Chiang Kai-shek and the KMT. They lost, they went to Taiwan. And when that happened, America said that, first of all, we will only recognize Taiwan as the official government of China. Second of all, we will refuse to do any business with the PRC. And third of all, we will help Taiwan eventually try to take over China. 1972, when Nixon visited, this marked a radical departure from 20 years of American foreign policy. Okay? And the question then is, why would he do that? And the answer is, in 1971, the Nixon shock. So if you talk to historians, they'll give you lots and lots of different reasons as to why Nixon visited China. The main reason, from their perspective, is that Henry Kissinger, who was National Security Advisor to Richard Nixon, he was trying to triangulate between China and the Soviet Union, right? He was trying to get China on the side of the United States in order to defeat the Soviet Union. That's not true. That's something that historians made up. The real reason is that in 1971, Nixon removed the US dollar from the gold standard. And now the US dollar is worth nothing. Before you could take the US dollar and change it for gold, now it's worth nothing. If it's worth nothing, what you do now is create a demand for it. You basically have to create a Ponzi scheme. And so Nixon did two things to resolve this issue and create the US dollar Ponzi scheme. The first thing he did was create something called a petrodollar. Okay? The petrodollar is where Saudi Arabia and other Middle East countries like Qatar, UAE, they only sell their oil in US dollars. So now, before the value of US dollars was tied to gold, the gold standard, now the value of US dollars is tied to oil. Okay? If you want to buy oil and everyone wants to buy oil, you need US dollars. And there's something called a petrodollar. Okay, that's the first thing. The second thing, which is relevant to us, is China. Okay? Opening. The strategy is to turn China into a manufacturing base for the global economy. Right? So the Middle East sells oil to the world. But China now will sell manufactured goods to the world, and China will also do so using US dollars. And these two things together create the current global economy. All right?